high definition relationship where we help you to connect those dots. I'm Pastor Tony. For the last several weeks and last several months, we've been dealing with the topic of having hard conversations. I'm about to take a walk. Usually when I walk, I think a lot better. But before I take this walk, I wanted to say a few things to you concerning now the new category we're looking at is a spouse that's too emotional or a spouse that's not emotional enough. What we're going to look at is two things in these two segments. The first thing we want to look at is what is being said in these two categories when it comes to these conversations of being too emotional, not emotional enough. What is actually being said? We got to be clear on that. The second thing, we want to learn what to say and what not to say. That is how to approach the conversation. Because remember, the important part of a growing, maturing relationship is that you have to learn how to confront. We talked about that before, but confrontation is so important. You know, the root etymological meaning of the word confront actually means to face someone. That's all it means. It doesn't mean you have to yell, you have to go off, act crazy, but it means to confront, to face issues, to face problems. And once you do that, you'll find your way connecting with that person. And you confront because you love. You confront because you want a better relationship. You confront because you want intimacy. That's right. You want intimacy. Remember, intimacy is the ability to come in close proximity to another person in their personal space without causing harm or damage. So it's important for us to get there. Now, this is what I do know. The majority of couples are out of balance or out of sync when it comes to emotions. They're out of balance, and that's normal. That's that we're not compatible because when we got together, remember, opposites attract. That's the first thing that attracted you about them. So it's normal to be out of sync or not feel like you're compatible emotionally. So this one, it really takes work. So the first one we're going to look at again, what is actually being said in a situation like this? Because nothing is more miserable than being in a relationship and you're supposed to be close to someone, but you feel alienated and you feel alone and you're in a relationship. You feel alone and you're married. That doesn't make sense. So in order to deal with that, you have to address, remember, you're dealing with a connection problem. You're dealing with alienation. That's why you're bringing this up. Now, let's just look at the first part of that. Someone says that you're too emotional. What are they really saying? They're really saying that you probably need to tone down the conversation a little bit. You need to tone down your hype in order for them to get through it. In order for you to hear them, you have to tone it down. They may be saying, I like your emotion, but it's too much for me. It's over the top. Let's look at the next one. The other one is you're unemotional. I'm trying to say that the right way there. You're unemotional. They may feel like you're not concerned. They say you're not emotional, you're not attached, to the kids, and we're really trying to work this thing out. Don't get defensive. See, that's the first thing. When they express to you and they're trying to connect and deal with an alienation problem, don't get defensive. Don't put up a wall, don't back up, and don't move into a place to where you're quiet now, you're not saying anything. This will help you. They're not trying to hurt you and attack you. They're just trying to connect, and they may not have the skill. They don't know how to connect with you. So don't get defensive. This is what they're really saying. Honey, if you could talk to me a little more, if you can give me a little more emotion, then I would feel comfortable because I want to connect with you. And remember, humans connect at the emotion level. You can talk in your head all day about facts and events, which is important, but you can't neglect that part that keeps the relationship together. You can't neglect the part that causes you to bond together, and that is talking on the emotion level. It's going to take some work, but you can do this thing. Remember, you're trying to resolve alienation. And the one who's less emotional, they usually see emotions as a problem. It's problematic. They see themselves getting out of control. It's a weakness. But remember, this is what attracted you to them. So don't be so standoffish when it comes to them acting a certain way. Here's the whole key. Stop trying to make your spouse less emotional. The other one, stop trying to make your spouse more emotional. I believe if you listen, pay attention, and connect these dots, you can deal with them according to understanding and make the relationship better. Hey, until next time, we'll see you. God bless you.